Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, Yado.
Okay. So
Yado, do you turn on the English interpretation? Okay.
already.
Sadhu, sadhu. Yado, are you ready to start the Dhamma talk?
It's done.
Okay. Under me, Yado, and good evening, everyone. Good morning for everyone in the East Hemisphere. Welcome to the 7-day plus 14-day Samatha-Vipassanā Meditation Retreat conducted by Sierra Aganya and Sierra Kovida. Today, Sierra Kovida will continue with the Dhamma talk on Bojjhanga Sutta Part 10. May we now respectfully invite Sierra to start today's Dhamma talk, and may we invite both interpreter Bante to start the translation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
We will pay homage to the Buddha by reciting Namo Tassa 3 times. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa. Yesterday we have already talked about Araham. Today we have to continue the second quality, Sama Sambuddha, the fully self-enlightened one. If we analyze the grammatically, there are 3 Pali words in this quality: Sama, Sam, and Buddha. Sama means very well. Sam means by himself. Buddha means enlightened. The Buddha is the one who realized the Four Noble Truths and all the necessary factors with direct knowledge without being guided by any teacher. So whenever we talk about Sama Sambuddha, the sub-enlightened one or fully sub-enlightened one, we also have to know the Nyaya Dhamma, the things or the Dhammas to be known. There are 5 Dhammas to be realized: Sankhara, formation. Okay, we have many different meaning of Sankhara, right? Okay, just for your knowledge. For example, Vijapajja Sankhara. In this case, when we talk about Vijapajja Sankhara, Sankhara means wholesome and unwholesome. It's really worldly, wholesome, and unwholesome. Then, when we talk about Sankhara Khanda, it's just mental factors. Now here, when we talk about Sankhara, it can be Namarupas. The Buddha also know Namarupas. Then 2, Vikara, change or alternation. Then change and alternation, Vikara also means bodily intimation and bhava intimation. So if we say to understand easily, the Buddha also can understand body language. That's called body intimation. Bhava intimation, Buddha also can analyze people's speech and words. Then Lakkhana, characteristics. The characteristics means there are many characteristics of ultimate realities. Then he also understands or realize all these characteristics of mentalities and materialities. Then Nibbana, actually I don't need to explain anything about Nibbana, right? Because this is very well known in Buddha's teaching. This is the aim or goal of Buddhists. Then the 5 Panyati concepts. Okay, here for your information, we should understand the concept. Sometimes the Buddha used conventional truths in his Dhamma talk. At that time, we must understand as a conventional truth, or as a concept. Sometimes the Buddha talk about ultimate reality in his teaching. At the time, we must understand ultimate truth or ultimate reality. For example, when the Buddha talk about Anapanasati or many of Samatha meditation, the Buddha used concepts. If we think about Samatha subjects as conventional truth or, ultimate truth or Nitya Dukkha Anatta, this is some mistake. That is why when we are practicing Anapanasati, we just know in and out breaths. In and out breath is just concepts. We also say short and long breaths, whole breath body, sudden breath, for example. Now we should explain, for example, like short and long breaths. Whenever we talk about short and long, there must be some comparison. For example, a ruler and a ball pen. Ruler will be taller, longer. Right? The pencil or ball pen will be shorter. Then another thing is like a ruler and the pillar of the house, for example. Then the pillar will be longer. So it depends on comparison. There can be different types of short and long, different explanation of short and long. So in the case of concepts, there are some concepts we can also say by comparison. This is also concepts. We can also say conventional truths. It's not all the time truth. Sometimes Buddha just use ultimate truths. At the time, we must understand ultimate truths. For example, the Buddha may talk about Four Noble Truths. It's ultimate reality. The Buddha may talk about five aggregates, bases, elements, faculties. Then these then will be ultimate truths, ultimate reality. Okay, briefly, when we read sutta, then we must understand it's a concept or its ultimate reality. If the Buddha say concept, then we must accept as a concept. Don't think about anicca, dukkha, anatta, or nama-rupas. So the Buddha also realized all these things, 5 things: sankhara, formation; vikara, change or alternation; we can also say body intimation and above intimation; lakkhana, characteristics; nibbana, this is also nibbana, our aim; panyati, concept or conventional truths. That's why Buddha is called Sammasambuddha, fully enlightened one. Then next one, recollection of Buddha, Vijayajnana Sampanno. Vijayajnana Sampanno means endowed with knowledge and contact. So if we say knowledge, there are many knowledge, including worldly knowledge. Contact means practice, practically practice. Jhana. Okay, now the Buddha is one who is endowed with 8 knowledges. Now we have to talk about 8 knowledges. 1, insight knowledge. This is also really very important for Buddhists. If we have insight knowledge, we may have more perceptions of anicca, dukkha, anatta. Then we can also free from many of negative thoughts, negative idea. Not only that, we can also subside the defilements, for a while. Then 2, the supernormal power of mind-made body. In Bali, we call Manomayeti. So the Buddha also can create another body inside his body. This is called Manomayeti. 3, the knowledge of recollecting past existences. The Buddha could know his past lives. The Buddha also could know other people's past lives. This is also called supernormal power or psychic power. Now we also have one inside knowledge. We have to know the past existences. That one is Gankha-Udarana Visuddhi, or the knowledge of apprehending causes. So when we talk about Gankha-Udarana Visuddhi, the implications of overcoming doubts for inside knowledge, it must be the knowledge of cause apprehending. In this knowledge also, we can know the past existences, but not so detailed as psychic power. When we just recall the past, we can know clinging aggregates and their causes. We cannot know very much in detail like psychic power. Then this is also special power. If we have already seen or if we have already known about our past lives, we will not have any doubt about the past lives. Similarly, present and future. Then 4, the knowledge of divine eyes. So when we talk about divine eye, we must also know that we can see even very far and very fine and subtle objects. We can also see the divine beings. This is called the knowledge of divine eyes. This is also supernormal power, psychic power. So although it's blocked by many different things, many different walls, many different trees, mountain, or anything, that we can penetrate and we can see it. Then 5, the knowledge of divine ear. This is also very subtle, very subtle and very high-ranking psychic power. Although it's very far and very subtle sound, we can hear if we have attained divine ear. So formally, if there's a blockage between the sound and ear, we cannot hear. Right? Whenever we are going to listen to something, there must be space between the ear translucency and the sound. If there's no space, if something's blocked, we cannot hear. But in the case of divine ear, although it was blocked by many different things, many different walls, mountain, or many different things, then we can hear by using this kind of psychic power. They also can hear divine sound. So that means when divine beings playing the sound, and they can also hear. When they are speaking also, they can hear. And 6, the knowledge of reading other living beings' minds. This is also one of the psychic power. So when we say reading other people's minds, this means Buddha can also know people's minds, what they are thinking, where their mind inclines. It's very easy for him. For example, when Ajatasattu saw the quietness and calmness of Bhikkhu Sangha, he remembered his only son, Udayabhadda, right? If my son is calm and quiet like that, it will be very grateful. Then the Buddha said, But Buddha also asked him, do you remember your son? Then he said, yes. Then Buddha asked, does your mind incline to your beloved one? Buddha said like that. Then he said, yes. Buddha could read other people's minds. That's why it's easier to help people. Then now in modern society, there are many teachers, right? They admitted that they can reach other people's minds, but we also have to doubt. We also have doubt about it because that kind of psychic power is not that easy. 7. The supernormal power of diving into the earth and so on is also very special and very strong, by very high-ranking concentration. So you may have already listened or read many stories about psychic power like this, right? For example, when Buddha is taming 1,000 ascetic in Uruvela, Buddha also displayed many different psychic power like that. And although there's a very strong wave, Buddha can walk in the water, very calm, very peaceful. So anyway, the main thing is then by the power of their concentration, they can create water as a ground, or the ground as a water. That's why it can be very many different ways of practicing to achieve this kind of attainment. So here it will be too long. I cannot explain 14 ways of the train the mind, right? It will be too long for you. We have special practice for this kind of supernormal power from the second to
Theodore. Theodore.
okay, I can hear.
Okay.
Okay, which part is broken? Maybe I should connect.
About 3 minutes, Theodore. About 2 minutes, sorry.
It's okay, or too long.
Mm.
Okay. Oh, many do come.
Yeah, Theodore, do you want us to share the PowerPoint slide?
Okay, I can share. It's okay, no problem.
Okay.
Because now connection, I have changed connection. Okay, now.
Mm.
Okay, so now, okay, we can start. Supernormal power of diving into the earth, that one. This also special psychic power. Then you may have already known some story, or you may have already read the story of the Buddha. For example, the Buddha was taming 1,000 ascetic in Uruvela forest. The Buddha also walking on the water. So by the power of this kind of psychic power, he can make the earth into the water, water into the earth. That's why it's special power. To achieve this kind of psychic power, then we have to train many different ways, from 2 to 7th, 2nd to the 7th. Right? We have many different quality of psychic power. To achieve all these things, we have to practice 14 ways of training mind. It will be too long for you. That's why I will not say here. Just briefly. So that means when we have achieved 8 attainments in 8 kasinas. So there are 10 kasina. Among the 10, we have 8 kasina. The first 8 kasinas. Then in every single kasina, we must attain up to 8 attainments. After that, we have to train 14 ways. That's playing jhana. After training very well, then when our concentration is strong enough, we can achieve all this kind of psychic power. We can also determine and try to create all this type of psychic power. So these are not that easy for ordinary people. The Buddha has all this psychic power. Buddha also has very strong and powerful insight knowledges. Okay, finally, the Buddha also has destruction of taints. Number 8, the knowledge of destruction of taints. Mostly in our daily life, when we are making aspiration, idame punya asawa kaya wahan hodu asawa kaya, destruction of taints. So when we talk about asawa, now we have 4 different types of asawa. Kama asawa, then we can see mental intoxicant of sensual pleasure. Where's the bhava asawa? There's a lot of mental intoxicant of attachment to existence or attachment to the life. Dita asawa, mental intoxicants or attachments to our wrong view. Then finally, avijja asawa, mental intoxicant of ignorance. After attaining arhatship, the Buddha had already eradicated these types of taints or mental intoxicants. This knowledge is called asavakaya. The Buddha has achieved all these types of knowledges. That's why it's called vijja. Okay, what about jhana? There are many types of jhana. The Buddha also indulged with 15 contacts. This is jhana. 1. Observing precepts. Ordinary people also observe precepts or undertake precepts, but it will be different from the Buddha. The Buddha has achieved very high ranking knowledges, like hardship. Then for him, undertaking precepts is very easy. Naturally, they were observed. We have already said, the Buddha has already eradicated his defilements, including habit and a hobby. It will be different from other. That's why even he doesn't have a habit. Then 2, guarding the sense doors. This is also a special quality. So in the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind, there are many different objects were impinged on all 6 doors. So sometimes when we have desirable objects, we may have attachment to it. If we have undesirable objects, then we may have some anger, worry, anxiety. So these are just emotion. But it can just start our practice. So if we can guard sense doors, we want to have this kind of mental states, this kind of obstacles or hindrances. This is also important. Moderating in foods. This is also important in our practice. So when we are going to accept the foods, we must choose proper foods and we must take only a proper amount of the foods. When we are eating also, we must eat only the suitable and proper amount of the foods. This is called moderating in foods. Not only that, actually, we also have some santosa, santuti, right? Sometimes, although we get foods, we cannot satisfy with that. Then we have a little bit the stronger greed or stronger desire to have more, for example. This kind of thing is not really good for an ordinary person. Okay, the moderating in food is also contentment, to accept the amount we need, that is the suitable food for us. Then 4, devotion to wakefulness. Yeah, when we talk about devotion to wakefulness, for ordinary people, we have a whole day that without sleeping, then meditation. This is also called devotion to wakefulness. And at night, we can divide into 3 periods. The first watch of the night, the second watch of the night, the last watch of the night. The first watch of the night and the last watch of the night, the Buddha will never lie down. He may do walking or sitting. Then he may keep Dhamma talk and sitting also. In the middle watch of the night, divide into 3 portions. And one part he can lie down, entirely into fruition attainment. It doesn't mean he falls asleep. Just resting. So he also has perception of waking up or getting up. This is called wakefulness. So compared to ordinary people, Buddha is always awake all the time. There are also some arhats, like Venerable Sariputta, Venerable Ananda, Venerable Mahamoggallana, Venerable Mahakassapa. They don't sleep. They don't take a nap. Even they don't lie down. This is also called wakefulness. Then 5, being endowed with faith or confidence. So we have already talked about faith in the Dhammavicaya Bojjhanga, about confidence of faith, right? This is also important. The faith is like a seed. We can plant anywhere. If we have saddha, if we have faith, we can plant anywhere. It can grow. So that means when we have faith, we can also grow dana, sila, samadhi, panya, any of practice is ready. If we don't have saddha, then we are not ready to grow anything. Actually, there are many other similes of saddha also, but it will be too long. We also have already said in the Dhammavicaya Bojjhanga. 6, being endowed with mindfulness. So we have already talked about Sati Sambhojjhanga, right? Very firm, very strong, sure awareness. That means he can know the objects surely, without any missing. This is called mindfulness. We have already talked about Sati Sambhojjhanga. 7, being endowed with moral shame. So that means when we are going to do something wrong, we must feel shame. If we don't feel shame, this means is morally shameless. 8. Being endowed with moral dread. Sometimes we may scare or we may hesitate to do something bad. At the time we have moral dread. So moral shame and moral dread. Actually, we have already explained many times about it. In many different parts of Dhamma talk, we have already mentioned moral shame and moral dread. So these are really very important for our practice, especially to be moral, we need these two, moral shame and moral dread. As long as we have these two mental factors, moral shame and moral dread, we can be moral. If we don't have these two, we cannot be moral anymore. And 9, being endowed with Dhamma knowledge sutta. Okay, for our ordinary people, Dhamma knowledge means we must learn the Buddha teaching. Now in modern society, by listening, by reading, by watching, there are many ways to learn. If we can study 1 Nikaya, 2 Nikayas, 3 Nikayas, 4 Nikayas, or 5 of Nikayas, that means all Nikayas, you can say we are knowledgeable. So not only learning, we also learn by heart. And it will be stronger. Then after learning also, we must try to understand the meaning deeply. This also we call knowledgeable. Sometimes there are many hidden meanings of the teaching. Sometimes if we know the order of practice and the cause and effect relationship, it's easier to understand. We also need to comparative study according to modern society. Actually, in Buddhist teaching also we have comparative study. If we many different things. For example, sometimes Buddha just talk about 3 vijja, 3 knowledge, 3 knowledges. Sometimes Buddha say 8 vijja, right? 8 vijja means 8 knowledges I have already mentioned before. Why is it two different? It depends on the listeners. There can be different instructions. Anyway, the main thing is that in the case of Dhamma knowledge, we must understand the Buddha's teaching thoroughly and clearly. Well, I will give one example. When we read Dhammavada story, you may also know one lady, Mahati Kamata. She supports bhikkhus who meditated in her village. Then she also asks meditation subject from the bhikkhus there. They give him 32 body parts. Then later you have already known about her, right? She could attain psychic power. She could also know bhikkhu's condition by using her psychic power. Then she also know bhikkhu need only Bojjhanga Sutta, suitable foods. That's why she cook suitable food for the bhikkhus and offer. Then they could attain path and future knowledge. If we just read the story, generally, you can know she could attain psychic power. But she learned 32 body parts meditation from the bhikkhus. This is a gap between these two. By merely practicing 32 body parts, we cannot attain psychic power. I have already said 32 body parts. Then, without practicing kasinas, without attaining 8 attainments in 8 kasinas, we cannot continue to attain psychic power. So among the 32 body parts, for example, black hair, our hair is black. Then we can go to black kasina. Sometimes misunderstanding about black kasina. Okay, for example, when we talk about Nila, we call Nila kasina, right? people misunderstand is it blue kasina. Because in the sasana flag also, they use blue color. Right? They call Nila as a blue. But when we learn in the kasinas, right, by taking head hair as an object, we can also take Nila kasina. That means we Asian people have black hair. It should be black kasina. Okay, it cannot be blue kasina. Be careful that one, right? Then similarly, blood is the red color. We can also practice red kasina. Then fats, urine are yellow color. We can also practice yellow kasina. Then bone and teeth, also some part of eyes is white. We can also practice white kasina. So we can also continue other kasinas. So after attaining 8 attainments in each of 8 kasinas, then she could train 14 ways of training minds. After that, she could practice until she could attain psychic powers. So this is the process, the order of practice. So learning means we must know thoroughly why she could attain psychic power by learning 32 body parts. Right? It's impossible. So that means this is called comparative study. We must compare with other texts and also the connection between 2 different texts. If we can learn thoroughly, then we may not make any mistakes in practice. This is called Dhamma knowledge Sutta. 10. Being intelligent. So we cannot compare with Buddha's efforts. He was very intelligent. That's why he could achieve very high level. Then 11. Attaining wisdom, Panya. So Buddha also have achieved many different types of Panya. We have already talked about many different types of Panya. Right? This is also called contact. Then 12 to 15, it is jhana. First jhana, the second jhana, the third jhana, and the fourth jhana. These are called contact. So here we have 8 knowledges and 15 contacts. So the Buddha is endowed with these knowledges and contacts. That's why it's Vijayajana Sampanno. Then again, we have to move Sugado. When we talk about Sugado, mostly we translate as well-spoken one. This is a common translation most of the time. There are also other translations according to different definitions. Okay, now I will introduce one by one. The manner of going is good, purified, and blameless, Samatha-Vipassanā, by noble paths, going to the directions of safety attainments without attachment to anything. So that means the manner of going, the manner of practicing is good, purifying, and blameless by the noble path. So that means if we are practicing the Eightfold Path, is the purifying and blameless, also good path. Then also is it going to the directions of safety attainment. You can also say going to Nibbana without attachment to anything. Although he had attained Nibbana, he does not have attachment to his attainment. He does not have attachment to his noble path also. This is really called Samatha-Vipassanā. You can say going is a good, or purifying going, or blameless going. Then the Buddha has gone to the excellent place, deathless Nibbana, Sundara-Gata. The Sundara means good or excellent. This is referred to Nibbana, deathless. Gata means going. That's one is called Sukata. That means the one who goes to deathless exilic place is called Sukata. The second definition, right? We have the next one. Torah is righteously gone without going back to the defilements done by past knowledges. Samagata. Samagata means rightly gone without going back to the defilements. Okay, now practically, now you are in a meditation retreat. You can be a little bit far from defilements. When you go back, you are home. More defilements will come. Right? That means abandoned by past knowledge. In the case of the Buddha, his mind will never incline to any defilements. He will never go back to defilements. That's why we call Samagata. The Buddha enunciates rightly Samagata. He speaks timely, fit into the place. That he speaks timely if speech is the truth, beneficial and unpleasant to the listener. He also speaks timely if the speech is the truth, beneficial and pleasant to the listeners. The main thing is he speaks the truth and beneficial. It may be pleasant, it may be unpleasant. So for example, if we say untrue, it's a musawada. If we speak unbeneficial, it's a samapalapa. Right? So Buddha speak truth and beneficial. Sometimes his speech is unpleasant to the listeners. That means some disagreeable. But he may speak timely. Sometimes it's always beneficial and the truth. Right? Some or two are not really very good, right? That's why we can say unpleasant. Then it will use truth, beneficial, and unpleasant. Sure, this is the best. Then the word also speak timely. That's why we translate well-spoken one, refer to the last definitions. Here we have 4 definitions of Sukado. Anyway, we can also say another things. As all other Buddha has gone to Nibbana, he also go there. We also have another definition. As all other Buddhas come to this world to help living beings, he also come to this world to help living beings. This is also called Sama-Agata. Su-Agata. Sama-Agata. Su-Agata means welcoming, coming very well. Actually, there can be many other definitions of Sukado. It will be too long. But the main thing is, the Buddha live in this very world to help living beings. Also, the Buddha speak truly, true things, beneficial things, although it's pleasant or unpleasant for listeners. This one is called Samagata. Okay, now look how we do. This is number 5. Knower of the words. Actually, we have 3 different types of words. Satta loka, living beings, is also called words. Sankhara loka, formation, is also called words. Okasa loka, the existences, the abodes, are also called words. So now here we should talk about Satta loka. It will be related to meditators now. The Buddha also knows all beings' habits, their inherent tendency, their temperament, and their bends or inclinations. This is a special power. Here I also use Pali word asaya nusaya. When we talk about Asaya and Usaya, only the Buddha have this kind of knowledge. The Buddha disciples cannot have this kind of knowledge. This is also special power to help people. That's why Buddha can give exact meditation structure to exact people. Then they could practice well, then they can also attain path and fruition knowledge easily. The Buddha also knows them as with little dust, the defilements in their wisdom eyes, with much dust on their wisdom eyes. Okay, now we can practically understand if many dusts around our eyes, we cannot see clearly, right? If some of the dust go into our eyes, we have to close our eyes, we cannot see anymore. If the layer of dust is very thick, we cannot see. Like a misty area, we cannot see, right? Anyway, the Buddha also know the defilements of living beings. That's why he could help living beings correctly. Then, not only that, we also know them as for the keen faculties and for the dull faculties. So we have already talked about 5 controlling faculties: Saddha, faith, and Panya, wisdom. We must balance these two. Then concentration and effort. We must balance these two. Then mindfulness is always needed. So the Buddha also know which faculties are sharp or strong, which faculties are weak. That is why the Buddha can have to have stronger faculties, what they needed. Then they could also practice well, they could attain path of fruition knowledge. The Buddha also knows them as both good behaviors and bad behaviors according to their maturity of faculties. So that means when somebody has a good behavior, the Buddha also could know, right? They have good behavior. When they have good behavior, because of which faculties are weak, which faculties are strong. When they have bad behavior also, when they have bad behavior, caused by which faculties. Only the Buddha can know this kind of things. For other people, it's not easy to know. This is also a special quality of the Buddha. The Buddha also knows them as easy to teach and hard to teach. As we have already known, some of his disciples are not that easy. The Buddha has to encounter many difficulties to teach. Some of his disciples are very easy to teach, right? So not only that, you must have known many different types of practitioners. For example, Ukati Tenyu, by listening short discourses, they can attain path of fruition knowledge. Vipakti Tenyu, by listening a long discourse, they can attain path of fruition knowledge. Then Neya, although they had chance to listen to the discourses, they cannot attain. But after learning from the teacher, by getting proper instruction from the teacher, they have to practice by themselves, they can attain path and fruition knowledge. So that's why we can say some people are hard to teach, some people are easy to teach. Buddha can know all these conditions. Then the Buddha also know them as capable and incapable of achievement. So that means there are some people, they can attain path of fruition knowledge. There are some meditator, they cannot attain any path of fruition knowledge. Just for parami. Okay, for example, Satchaka Paribhajaka. a wandering ascetic. The Buddha know him, he cannot attain any path and fruition knowledge in this very life. But the Buddha delivered 2 long discourses for him, just for parami, for his perfection. Then there are many other similar cases. There are some people, Buddha also know they cannot attain any path and fruition knowledge. Just get Dhamma to them. For example, after enlightenment, the 49 days around body trees, 7 weeks around body trees. Then he left for Isipatana on foot, because he must see somebody on the way. You may know this is a mega ascetic, right? One of the mega ascetic Ubaka. Then on the way he really met Ubaka. For this purpose, he just go there on foot. But also know Ubaka cannot attain path and fruition knowledge in the spot. But later, he may have a sense of urgency. He may come back and see the Buddha. Then he may attain path and fruition knowledge. He may attain hadisha. By knowing all these situations, he just left for Isipatana on foot. On the way, they had some conversation. He has some conversation with Ubaka. So there are some other cases. Right? For example, Samira Sobaka, just Ovara, he Buddha along him, he became bhikkhu. So there are many other arhats. They are very easy to attain path and fruition knowledge. Buddha also know. That's what we call loka vidu. And now, Anuttara Buddhisa Dhammasarati, incomparable leader of man, to be tamed. The Buddha surpassed the whole world with higher virtue, higher concentration, higher wisdom, higher deliverance, the knowledge and vision of deliverance. That's what we call he's a good teacher, good trainer, good leader. So that means if we are virtuous, we are good leader. If we have concentration, we become good leader, right? Similar wisdom, deliverance. But the Buddha tames those who have not yet tamed. There are many of students, many disciples. Then they are not very strong, not very mature yet. Like for example, Angulimala, not yet tamed. But the Buddha tamed him to tame noble. He also further tames those who have already tamed, teaching them to attain jhanas, stream path, and so forth. Okay, for example, Venerable Sariputta and Venerable Mahamoggallana, they had to attain Sotapanna path of fruition knowledge. The Buddha also trained them to attain higher attainment until they attain hadisha, together with analytical knowledges and psychic powers. These are called Anuttara Buddhisa Dhammasarati. There are some people, they are very clever, very smart. The Buddha guides them to be smarter, to be wiser, to be better. This is called Anuttara Buddhisa Dhammasarati. So when you read the stories and Dhammapada stories or Jataka stories, you can also read many things. When you read Sutta also, you can read many questioners. They ask many messy and complicated questions. The Buddha answer at the end. Then their mind become very clear, pure. Then they can take part in fruition knowledge. That's why we can say incomparable leader of man to be tamed. Although we say man also can be devas and brahmas. Sattha deva manusana. The Buddha is the one who teaches the ultimate goal and the benefit here and hereafter to the men and devas. So when we talk about the benefit of here and hereafter, some of the teachings are not for Nibbana, just for good community or good to make better society. Some of the Buddha teachings are to realize Nibbana. The Buddha may talk about Nama Rupas. For example, when we go and study Anguttara Nikaya, Buddha also mentioned different types of wives and husbands. Right? That means to have better family life. Buddha also guides that. When we go and read Singalovada Sutta, Buddha also mentioned the duties of parents, the duties of children, the duties of wife, the duties of husband, the duties of employer, the duties of employee, the duties of leader, the duties of bhikkhus and the duties of devotees, the duties of friends. The Buddha mentioned all the duties to have better community, stronger community. These are beneficial for this very life. So in the family life, if the father is dutiful, mother is also dutiful, then children also dutiful, then we can say children are also dutiful, then we can say this is a good family, happy family. Similarly, in the working area, employers and employees and friends, co-workers or colleagues, then if we have our own duties, if we perform all our duties, then it will be better society, better community. That's why Buddha also teaches for the welfare of this very life, for the welfare of future lives, for men or devas. This is called Sattha Deva Manusana. The Buddha also gets men and devas across the wilderness of birth. Actually, we just say here birth, actually death and sickness, many things, right? So we have been born many times. The Buddha just guides people to cross this kind of rebirth, the inner birth. Similarly, we have been sick in many different lives and existences. As long as we are in the samsara, we must be sick. Then to overcome all these things, the Buddha also guides his disciples how to do it and how to do it. Then we also have already death moments in many different lives. Then the Buddha also guides us to cross over the samsara. No more death, no more rebirth, no more sickness, no more aging. That's why it's called Sattha Deva Manusana, the teacher of devas and men. So, if we say briefly, up to now we can finish 7 qualities. We may have 2 more qualities. Tomorrow we can continue. Anyway, when we are going to do recollection of Buddha's quality, we also have to know some conditions. So we may have stronger faith in the Buddha. Sometimes, although we are doing Buddha's recollection of Buddha's quality, our faith is not strong. That means we have something wrong. We don't understand the Buddha's quality deeply or something. Sometimes we may feel like we are living together with the Buddha in the same place. This is also the benefit of recollection of Buddha's quality. Then another thing, very common statements, right? So our body becomes shrine room, like a shrine room, like a jutiya. If we are going to build a pagoda, it will cost a lot of money. We also need land. I think in US or any other country, right? The land is very expensive. You may need land. You also need money to build constructions. You also have to manage many workers. Then you will be busy. So when you do recollection of Buddha's quality, your body, your heart become shrine room. Right? So that means Buddha in the shrine rooms and Buddha in the hearts, two different things. Actually, if there were some Thai devotee here, maybe, right? From Thailand. So when I go to China, I see many of Thai people, they wear necklace with the Buddha statues, so just for protection. Actually, Buddha must not be in the neck, it must be in the hearts. As long as we can keep the Buddhas in the hearts, then we are safe. Our body is a shrine room, right? Because the main thing is, by recollecting Buddha's quality, then we may have stronger faith. We may also have the stronger devotion to the Buddha. Also, we may feel that we are living together with the Buddha. Not only that, our body may be same to shrine room or pagoda, right? This is the power of recollection of Buddha's quality. So by doing this kind of practice, we cannot attain jhana. We can attain only asset concentration, because almost all the things are like ultimate reality. No more concepts. So for example, practically now we talk about the benefit of here and hereafter, right? This is an ultimate reality. Happiness in this very life, happiness in the future. Happiness is ultimate reality. Similarly, when we talk about Arham also, right? The defilements, far from defilements. Defilements are actually ultimate reality. We cannot see it, we cannot touch it, but we can know it. Sometimes it can just touch us very clearly. Other time we come to know it's a defilements. So the main thing is, all the things are ultimate realities. That's why it's very difficult to understand. If we can understand deeply, then it will be powerful recollections. Then we will attain up to asset concentration. Based on that asset concentration, we can also continue practicing vipassana. We can also attain path and fruits knowledge. Okay? May you all be able to practice the three trainings, and may you all be able to realize the final cessation and no suffering. Okay? Any question?
Thank you, Sayadaw. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Sayadaw, shall we proceed to Q&A?
Okay.
Okay. Dear Dharma brothers and sisters, if you have any question, please send it to the chat group. Okay. So any participant, if you have question, you can also raise hand. Brother Jia Hong will bring the mic to you. Any questions from the participant?
We have one question now.
Hello. Dạ, con xin đảnh lễ sư ông và con đảnh lễ sư phụ ạ. Dạ, con có câu hỏi về phần thứ ba Vicca Charana Sampanno. Dạ, con hỏi là những phép giống như là túc mạng thông, thiên nhĩ thông hay là tha tâm thông, những người đắc thiền hay là đắc các bậc thánh, người ta có thể được những cái phép đó không ạ? Dạ, con cảm ơn sư phụ.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, we cannot say like that, right? So we have, some arhats. We call Prisambhita Pada Arhat, for example, right? This is the highest arhats. They will attain psychic power, they will attain analytical knowledges. Because of their parami, they can attain easily. The second type of arhat is Chala Bina Arhat. Chala Bina Arhat may attain psychic power. Right? Then another one is Divichapada Arhat. Divichapada may attain only true psychic power, that is divine eyes and recollection of past existences. Then he may attain arhatship. This is another type of arhat. But there are some arhats, they don't attain any psychic power, but they just attain only arhatship. Okay? So that is why it's not the same for every arhat. According to their parami, they may have different attainments. Okay? Yeah. Then we have to practice. Okay, if we can practice all the 14 ways of training minds, then you can attain psychic power. Okay, one more thing. Although you have practiced 14 ways of training minds, if your concentration is not powerful enough, you're going to attain anything also, right? Your concentration must be strong enough. You must also train another special way to achieve special psychic power. Then you will be able to attain psychic power. Otherwise, you're going to attain anything. Okay. The next question.
Chào.
Dạ sa thú. Dạ con xin kính đảnh lễ ngài, con xin kính đảnh lễ sư phụ. Dạ sư phụ hỏi giùm con, nếu mà như vậy một người chứng được từ sơ thiền tới thứ thiền thì cũng có thể là cái định của người ta vẫn còn yếu, nhiều cái loại trong sơ thiền nhiều bậc khác nhau, chứ không phải là khi vào sơ thiền thì nó giống hệt nhau, phải không bạch sư phụ? Dạ con xin tri ân.
Okay, so we can say like Hina, Majjhima, Panita, we have 3 different levels of jhana. It depends on your controlling faculties. When your controlling faculties are very low, it can be Hina jhana, right? When your controlling faculties are medium, we can say Panita, Majjhima jhana. When your controlling faculties is very sharp and very strong and powerful, it can be Panita jhana. It depends on controlling faculties. There can be different level of jhana. Okay? Okay, the next question are behind you.
Hi, chào Hồng.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you for your compassion. Kính lạy sư phụ, xin sư phụ dịch giùm con câu hỏi này. Dạ có 1000 năm đầu thì có A-la-hán Ba Minh, 1000 năm kế thì A-la-hán Lục Thông, còn 1000 năm thứ 3 thời nay thì ra sao? Dạ, thank you. Cảm ơn sư phụ.
Actually, okay, one more thing, right? We can find the similar statements in 2 different Nikaya. Okay, I will not talk about Nikaya too much. But the main thing is when the commentator wrote all these things, translate all these things, he also said, just Asian commentary mentioned, that's why I also translate from Asian commentary. Then he also quotes one reference from the Buddha teaching in Samatha-Vipassanā Sutta. As long as there's a practitioners, there can be arhat in these words, right? Similarly, as long as there's a practitioners, then we can attain any kind of attainment. It depends on how we practice and what we practice. Okay? We cannot say this is 100% truth. Okay?
Any more questions? 嘉宏比赛。
班迪，我有一个问题，就是我们读那个中部的时候，有一个说那个佛陀会那个双神变，这个是不是双神变？就是在一所成神变里面。另外，这个双神变是不是佛陀特有的？那个阿罗汉是没有的。谢谢。
Okay, in this case, we're going to say Manomayeti, right? Dhammarika power is a kind of Etivida psychic power, right? So he may display fire and water together. Like we can say alternatively, but it's synced together because he can enter jhana very rapidly. That's fine. The fire and water come together. Okay, this is called Dhammarika power. Only the Buddha can display this kind of power, or other arhats cannot do it. Sure. Okay, this one.
Yes, Sarah. I have one more question regarding the concentration meditation. Is it for today, nowadays, that people can attain the path and fruitions without the practice of concentration, samadhi, Sarah?
Okay, in the case of Vipassana, right? But we must have asset concentrations or absorption concentration. This is called Citta Visuddhi, the purifications of the minds. So based on purifications of the mind, we can proceed to practice in Vipassana. That is fine. If we don't attain jhana, we must attain at least asset concentration to continuous practice in Vipassana. Okay? Then if some knowledge becomes mature, we can attain path and first knowledge. Okay, this one.
Any more questions from participants? Okay. The first question, Sarah, we will read the question from chat group.
禅修者行动自如，但习惯每晚躺在床上听闻佛法，
The first question is a Chinese
请问西
question.
亚多这样好吗？萨度萨度萨度。
Actually, if we listen to the Dhamma, we should listen respectfully, right? The lying down, we fall asleep, this is not really called respect. Other things is you may not understand clearly, you may not understand deeply also, right? So if we listen respectfully, you may understand, we may understand deeper. Okay? Next one.
Second question, Wondermi Sayadaw, is dark greenish color taken from the gout also considered as nila other than head hair? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Dark greenish. We can say dark can be considered as nila, right? Dark greenish is a little bit strange to me also. Right? So it must be, okay, for example, when we talk about black nila kasina, it just mentioned head hair, body hair, right? Also, because in some of the eyelash or something, right? In the eyes with black color, it just mentioned dark greenish is a little bit strange to me also. It cannot be, right? It should be only dark, okay, no problem. Greenish is impossible. Another one?
Thank you, Sayadaw. Wandami Sayadaw, does all Buddha disciple also need to try to possess the 15 conducts? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Okay, so in the case of the Buddha, it's special because he had to fulfill many different paramis, that he achieved all the things. The personal Buddha disciples, they may not have all the 15 conducts, right? So, okay, some of them may attain very high jhana, first jhana, whereas some of them may attain only the second jhana, some of them may attain all the 4 jhana. It depends on their ability. Some of them, they don't attain any jhana, they just attain asset concentration, and they proceed practicing vipassana. That's why, in this case, there is some exception for some disciples. Okay? Next one.
Thank you, Sayadaw. Question for Wandami Sayadaw. Under Sugato well-spoken one, Sayadaw explained 2 points. I do not quite understand how the first point is related to well-spoken one. That means how the Buddha has rightly gone without going back to the defilement abandoned by path knowledges relates to well-spoken one. Could Sayadaw please explain? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Actually, okay, well-spoken one is one of the meaning. Okay? There are 4 meanings of Sugato. Okay? It's not well-spoken. That means Sugato doesn't mean only well-spoken. It also has other meanings. In the case of the one, Buddha has righteously gone without going back to defilements. This is also well gone. Su means well. Kata means gone, well gone. Okay? This we say like that. This is another definition. That means he didn't go back to defilements. He go very well. Okay? So that's why I just missed some Pali words there. Savana, Gada, Sundara, Gada, something like that, right? Also, Su Gada, Swa Gada, many other, Su Agada, many other definitions also. For example, Su Agada means welcoming. He come to this world to help people. We can also have this kind of analysis. Anyway, so it's not related to well-spoken one. There's another meaning of Sukata. Okay? So well-spoken is one of the meaning. I have mentioned 4 meanings. Among them, well-spoken is one of the meaning. Okay? Next one.
Thank you, Sayadaw. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Question 5. Wandami Sayadaw. A person with mind-reading psychic power, he will know another person's mind exactly as if it's his own mind. If a person has not practiced Vipassana yet, can he practice this psychic power? How to practice this psychic power? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Actually, Vipassana and instant knowledge psychic power will be 2 different things. In the Vipassana, when we discern external mentalities, we cannot know exactly. Okay? That means we just know just general external mentalities. In the case of psychic power, we cannot exactly what kind of mind is arising. Okay, that's why, okay, you may know the Paudra tradition. We talk about heart beats, right? So there are some instructions about heart beats in Visuddhimagga, or many other texts that mention the same. The main thing is, so the color of the heart, the color of the blood in the heart, right? For example, the blood is a little bit dark reddish, reddish dark color, right? We can say it will be anger. Roughly, we can analyze he's angry at the time. So that means Buddha can know, or maybe the practitioner can reach their heart base, then they can also know their mind states. And they can also know the object of their mind. This is the instruction. But then some advanced meditator, although they don't see, they can skip seeing the color of blood in the heart. They can also know the mind directly. Okay, it depends on how strong they are practice and how skillful they are. Okay, there are many different ways of reading minds. Okay, as we have already learned in Samatha-Vipassanā Sutta, for example, Saraka Citta, Vidaraga Citta, right? Sarasa Citta, Vidadosa Citta, and so on. There are many different types of mind states and their objects. So if we can know the mind state and the object, we can say we are reading other people's minds. So it's totally different from Vipassana. Vipassana cannot read like this. Second power can read in detail. Okay, next one.
Thank you, Sayadaw. Question 6. Wandami Sayadaw, reflecting Buddha's kindness means continuously reciting 10 virtues or just one virtues in a meditation session. Should I reflect Buddha virtue with the chain? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Okay. In the case of the recollecting Buddha's quality, mostly we recommend one quality in one section. It will be better. But sometimes if you have some tiredness or if you get bored with one quality, you can also change another quality, right? So in every single session, you can change another meanings, another qualities. It's also okay. It depends on your mind state, right? Sometimes by doing one quality, you may have very strong faith, then very strong devotion to the Buddha. You may feel like Buddha is nearby you. Then in this case, it's good enough. Okay, next one.
There's one question here, Sarah. A person with a lot of tension, should he simplify the recollection of Buddha's practice?
Okay. Mostly when you have a lot of tension, so mostly I recommend the kind of meditator to focus external one, the external objects. Like Buddha mostly is external, not from your body. So if you can do Buddha mostly well, and it's possible, right, to overcome tensions, because you can forget your body, it will be easier for you to overcome the tension, right? It's possible to do. Okay, next one.
Okay. Sarah, there is no question in the
Explain
chat.
giùm con.
Okay.
Yes, Sarah, may I have one question? Một
Okay.
người mà hành giả có thể chứng đắc được đạo quả với sắc nơi định không, thưa Ngài? Cảm ơn Ngài.
Okay, so later in the right concentration, this Samadhi Sambojjhanga, we have to talk about momentary concentration. Okay, so sometimes people misunderstand momentary concentration. That's why it's a little bit difficult for explanation. Okay, now I should check where I have already put momentary concentration. Okay, now I will share the screen. What's momentary concentration, right? So it's not that simple as we understand. Okay, now you can see. Right? You can see the slide, right? Yeah, samadhanti tanti pataman janati wasena aramani titan sama adhando samam tapendo. Samadhanti tan means evenly placing the mind on the objects by the power of jhana, etc. The first part, right? Okay, now second part. Tani wapana janani samapatitawa hutaya jana samyutan titan kayato vayato pasando. In other words, entering those jhanas and emerging from them, while contemplating jhana minds and its associated mentalities as decay and apparition. That means contemplating anicca dukkha anatta. Then vipassana kane lakana bati veda bati vedena obajati kanika chitika kata. At the time of insight, momentary concentration arises, realizing the three characteristics. Right? So this is a momentary concentration. So according to this context, momentary concentration can arise after emerging from jhana, while understanding jhana mentalities and materialities. Right? So now modern society, they cut the last part. At the time of insight, momentary concentration arises. Right? That's why momentary concentration is not as people understand. This is from the book sign. Okay, here I write down Parisamtha 2, 101. That means Parisamtha commentary, book 2, page 101. Vita 2, 34. That means Vinaya commentary, second volume, volume 2, page 34. So actually, we can also find similar statements in Visuddhimagga. Okay, so this really called Kanika Samadhi. So, okay, here one page. Entering those jhana emerging from them, one contemplating jhana mind associated mentality as decay and aberration. At the moment of insights, when the concentration arises. Okay, that's why it's not that easy as people understand. Okay, then any other question?
Sarah, there's one question in the chat group. Question 8. Vietnamese Siador, if a meditator join only short retreat, is it suitable for him to practice 4-element practice? As for practice, meditator need to learn to discern all 12 characteristics.
Actually, I don't recommend to learn for the 4-element meditations, because if some of the elements become excessive, then it will be some difficulty for you. Okay, short retreat. Okay, in the retreat you have teacher. When you have difficulty or some problem, teacher can help you. If you are practicing alone, when some of them become very excessive, nobody can help you, right? It will be very difficult for you in the future.
Sadhu. Thank you, Sarah. Any more question from the participant? There's no more question in the chat group. Jia Hong.
Sayadaw, one question on the number 7, Sattva Manusana. You mentioned that Buddha actually laid out like a worldly social duties, orders. I wonder, what did Buddha teach about one's worldly duties and being ordained? Because there seems to be a conflict here, at least to me. Because I think if you're a household person, you have the duty to provide for your parents, for your children. But if you're ordained, then you cannot do that anymore. So there seems to be a conflict. And so what did Buddha teach about that and to inspire people to be, become a monk and learn and teach people?
Okay, so in this case, for bhikkhu we also have to take care of our parents. We are also allowed to take care of our parents, right? If somebody can take care of our parents, then we can also hand over our duty to them. Okay, like for example, as a bhikkhu, we can treat our father as a samnera. Although he's a lay person, right? As we take care of a samnera, we can take care of our father. So, okay, this is the rule and regulations. So there are many other things we have to take care of. For example, as a teacher, I have to take care of my students. Similarly, students also have to take care of me as their teacher. This is what we call duties, right? When we study Khandaka, for example, Mahavaka or Chulavaka Vinaya, we can find many duties like this. We just have to perform our duties. That is why he also mentioned, if we are busy with our duties, like for example, taking care of parents, then this is called paribodha, impediments. Right? Similarly, we have to take care of our teacher, our students, it becomes paribodha. If they can take care of themselves, it will be better. Right? So, okay, as a bhikkhu, we have two duties, learning and practicing. Learning is learning tipitaka or teaching tipitaka, practicing is meditation, right? So actually, learning also one of the impediments, obstacle to improve. When we are meditating, don't learn. When we are learning, don't meditate. We can meditate, but we cannot expect very high quality. Okay, so that means actually, if we learn Mahavaka and Chulavaka, there are many duties of bhikkhus. We take care of many different things. For students, for teachers, for monasteries, even in the toilets. right? We have to follow many rules and regulations. We have to clean the toilets of everything, right? Mission and the kandaka. So we also have to perform our duties. Then after that, we have to do meditation. Okay? So actually, there are many, many duties for bhikkhus also, right? Not only meditation. We have to adjust our life to do many different things at the same time, but not so busy as lay person. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Sayadaw. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Any more question from participant? Any more question? Okay. Okay. Sayadaw, we don't have any question in the Zoom chat also. So shall we proceed to end the session today?
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Sayadaw. Thank you very much for your valuable teachings today. And thank you, our interpreter Bantes, for the translation. May we invite Sayadaw to lead us in making aspirations and sharing of merits. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Itawatacha amehi sambadam punya sambadam sabbe deva numodandu sabbe buddha numodandu sabbe saddha numodandu sabba sambati siriya idham me nyatinam hotu sukhita hondu nyatayo idham me nyatinam hotu sukhita hondu nyatayo idham me nyatinam hotu sukhita hondu nyatayo idham me punyam asawakaya waham hotu idham me punyam nibbānasa paccaya hotu mama punya bhagam sabba satanam bhajami te sabbe me samam punya bhagam labantu sadhu sadhu sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you, Sayadaw, and thank you everyone for your time and participation. Until we meet again the next session, may all be well and happy. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.